Welcome back, Agon, to the 5th episode of Server War News Coverage. It's Cantor, and in today's episode, I'll be covering the Siege of Unelak. The war continues to grow in size. As I said before, no race or entity in the world of Agon is safe from it, unless you live on Niflheim, because fun fact, as of right now, there has been no battles or sieges fought on the cold desolation of Nif. Before we get started, quick shout out to Clan Battle Saint. They are back in the world of Agon. They have awoken from their deep slumber underneath Ymir's tears. They are ready to bring glory, honor, and reputation back to the Dwarven race. So if you're an orc, Mihirim, you better watch out. The mighty Dwarven army is on the march. With that being said, let's get started with the Server War news coverage. Okay, so what's happening right now? The Server War is growing as each side of the war continues to rally people to their banner, and it just had a major battle deep in the heart of Orclands. The siege I'm covering today is the Siege of Unelak, the 6th siege of the Server War. This siege was very different from all the other sieges because unlike the last few sieges, there was a third group involved that wasn't a part of any side of the war, and that group would be the Gentlemen's. What happened? Weren't they part of the ROR Alliance last siege? Yes, they were. But I guess they were treated unkindly after the second siege of Bloodscar, in which the ROR Alliance lost. And because of the terrible treatment by the ROR Alliance, they decided they're going to enter the war as their own entity or factor as the third group. So quick breakdown of the siege. There was one major engagement during the siege, and that was the battle for Unelak. But prior to the siege, there was 3 skirmishes in the marshes of Unelak. The Africa Fiends Alliance winning the first 2 engagements 2 hours before the siege, and the ROR Alliance winning the last engagement about an hour before the siege, gaining them control of the hamlet and forcing the defenders to regroup in Alberworth. Now I call these fights skirmishes, but don't get me wrong, these were very bloody, full-pitch engagement with both sides taking numerous casualties. So who was all involved? On the attacking side, we have the ROR Alliance consisting of Reen, Rubyat Ratters, Legion, Drifter of Agon, and LOA led by their comms caller, Grimtide Darkfell. Their estimated force size, 40 to 50. On the defending side, we have the Africa Fiends Alliance consisting of Defiance, Instinct, and Africa led by the comms caller Mater, Squanto, Franchise, and GC. Their estimated force size 35 to 40. And then we have the Scroaching group of the Gentlemen's. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term Scroachers or Scroaching, it stands for players or group of players whose sole purpose is to battle, loot, and fight anyone they run into. Their estimated force size 15 to 20. The battle for Unelak. The battle started off west in the marshes of Unelak. The defenders, instead of defending the hamlet like they did during the Bloodscar siege, went on the offensive and took the fight to the attackers, rather fighting on the open ground where they could string out the attackers and slowly dwindle their numbers. With both sides facing off on the flat ground, a full-pitched battle commenced with ferocious bombardment of R-96s from either side. The fighting started with the attackers split into 2 groups, south and east, and the defenders fighting as one cohesive group. Unknown to either side was an incoming 20-man mounted battle horn cavalry charge from the Gentlemen. Initially, the attackers were going to push into the southern attacking force, but when they saw the imminent danger, the call to withdraw north into the Holy Spider Tree of Unelak was given, thus pulling the new threat into the already fully committed attacking force of the ROR Alliance, ending any momentum they had and a chance at winning. The battle lasted for about 10 minutes, with the attackers putting up a ferocious fight to the very last, leaving the Africa Fiends Alliance victorious once again on the field of battle. The outcome of the battle. After the battle for Unelak, the defenders goes on to winning the siege and successfully defending Unelak. The Civil War status. After the Unelak siege, the defenders have successfully defended against 4 sieges, lost 1, tied 1 out of 6 sieges, and have gone on defensive once again, sieging LOA holding of Ichitan. MVP of the battle goes to a dead Isabella Faye of the Africa Fiends side, and Captain Shad for the ROR Alliance. So if you guys are watching this video, hit me up in game for a free Cobra staff. It's still free to play for a few more days, so log on and find out what will happen next. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. A big shout out to everyone that showed up.